Of all the legacy automakers out there, one of them, BMW, seems to be making all the right moves. BMW Sales Growth just now passed the tipping point where their electric vehicles and hybrid sales are now more than their gas car sales. Combustion engine sales for them has plateaued, where they see these electrified vehicles continuing its fast growth. BMW also reiterated their goal of selling 3 million vehicles by 2030 within the 8 to 10% margin range. We've got Larry Goldberg joining us, and he's a multi-entrepreneur. Thank you, Larry. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Let's go through the news, and we'll have you react to that. So BMW sales growth, mostly electric as it passes combustion tipping point. It's BMW joined several other automakers in following Tesla, right? But he said he expects sales growth to come primarily from the electrified models, noting that combustion engines have largely plateaued. So this is the chief financial officer, Walter Myrtle, says he thinks the company reached a critical tipping point, pointing to upcoming gas vehicle bans, such as the 2035 ban by European Union. Majority of BMW sales growth is now coming for EVs, and the company has major plans in the emerging sector over the next few years. The tipping point is here, and he thinks it was surpassed in 2023. So this is a company that seems to have gotten it, and they're really putting full force on making sure that they move over to this new revolution. What do you think, Larry?
Well, BMW. They missed the mark initially by trying to create a platform that could be either electric or gas, and that was a misstep right at the outset. They've rethought the whole approach. They have retooled. Currently, what they mean by electrified is hybrid and pure EV. But the new architecture, which I think is due in 2025, will be 100% electric and truly, EVs. So they're definitely moving. They're moving very aggressively for a legacy car company, and I think they're definitely going to be one of the survivors. BMW will always hold a special place in the market. They're a performance car. They're a performance luxury car, and they're going to retain their position. Now, if only they'll reduce the size of their grills, I think they could be very successful.
I love it, Larry. A lot of people like BMWs, and that's why they're doing well. Let's continue the article here. And also, we're going to mention shortly that they actually had a major announcement this morning with Figure Robotics. We'll tell you more about that. So this article continues saying BMW saw record electric vehicle sales last year. Their deliveries across all the company's brands reached a 50% sales shares in 2023. And then by 2026, according to Myrtle, they're looking to boost that figure to 33%. They want to double it as it debuts 6 EV models. New class battery electric sign-up. What did you say what new class is? Is that any
new class is pure EV.
Oh, okay.
So when they talk about electrified, what they mean is pure EVs plus hybrids. When they talk about no class, that's a completely redesigned from the ground up with, I believe, a new battery that they're developing in-house, a cylindrical cell. So they're making some very, very, appropriate moves. I will tell you that before I drove a Tesla, before my transition to Tesla, I drove BMWs for several years after many years of changing, selecting different models. But, for about 10 years, I was a BMW aficionado because I just found their engineering and their performance to be outstanding. So, yeah, I'm a great BMW fan, and they will always retain that very strong position in the performance luxury classification and in the new EV world.
Okay, so you do like that grill?
No, I stopped buying BMWs when the grill grew too large. Actually, not exactly. The grill grew well after my BMW.
Okay. All right. So then it continue on. BMW is reiterated their goal of selling 3 million vehicles by 2030, and they're going to get 8 to 10% margin range. It will remain at least as profitable as a company upon selling as a new class EVs at volume. So they said that as a brand, BMW tripled its electric vehicle sales in U.S. in 2023 compared to 2022, and they also own Rolls-Royce and the Mini. They all saw an increase in sales. And then last month, they actually did announce that they were going to end the production of combustion engine vehicles. They have a plant in Munich that they had already announced are going to, switch it over to electric vehicles. And like you were saying earlier, there's this new cylindrical battery cells that's going to debut in their EVs in 2025.
Right. And
So it sounds...
one important data point is the Mini was one of the first BMW cars and one of the very first, non-EV manufacturers to come out with EVs. I mean, the original EV Mini had very, very limited range. It was great as a town car. But the new Mini is going to be, which has been delayed, but it's going to be on their new platform and will have very much more range. So they're doing all the right things. I mean, I'm impressed. And really what's happening is both Volkswagen, all the three German manufacturers are having to, because of the political pressure, they're having to make these changes. But, doing it reluctantly or doing it strategically is a very big difference. And I believe BMW are now doing it strategically.
BMW seems to be making the right moves. The other bit of news that happened this morning is BMW and Figure Robotics announced that they have a partnership, and it's going to be in the South Carolina, which is where you're close to their factory there. It's going to be the manufacturing factory, and it's going to be a year from now, 2 years from now. They promised to have one. They didn't say how many humanoid robots will be there. They didn't say what jobs it will do. They just said it's going to be pick and place. It's going to be the simple kind of unload and loading. And they didn't say exactly what they're going to do. But this is a big, maybe a public relations pitch, but it was a pretty big deal.
I think it's a very serious approach, and I think it's great for Figure and it's great for BMW. When I did the matrix of robotic startups and robotic wannabes, I mean, one of the issues that I had is that, Tesla have this factory, they have the ability to actually test the robot or train the robot or work with the robot in their own factories. And, so Figure really raised the point with me that, they're doing all the right things and they are far ahead of where the Matrix actually had them. And this is just one of those things that they're doing, so that they're very aware of what has to be done to make this thing work. And this deal with BMW is really, an important move in the right direction, a very important move. So, sorry, I was just saying kudos to them. They really want to be a player, and it looks like they're doing all the right moves.
They are. So this is the Figure robot that you saw there, right here. And then this is actually what's happening inside those factories in BMW's factories. And so you can see that there's quite a number of potential jobs that they're doing. Now, this is the production line. So they did not say they're going to do the first job will be a production line. We're just trying to show the actual factory that they were doing.
I grew up around the BMW factory. I lived in Charlotte when they were building that factory, and I had clients in that area, industrial clients, and clients that related to BMW in a big way. So I watched the factory grow up. And at that time, I drove BMW cars. I actually visited the factory, did a factory visit. It's an incredible place, and it's spawned, a huge amount of industry around the area, and they're very progressive in their outlook. So, it's an impressive operation.
So your outlook for BMW then sounds like that they are one of the leaders. I know we're going to do another show where Hyundai Kia seems to be the second in command, but do you think BMW will survive? What's your thinking about them?
It's very hard to pick winners and losers this early in the race, but BMW are doing the right moves. They have a particular niche, as do Mercedes. They're a particular niche and they're playing to their niche. And so, I think that they have a really good opportunity in the EV world.
Yeah. Well, the good news is what we saw today was they are doubling down. They had the tipping point, combustion engines. They've shut down a production line for the combustion engine. They're making commitments to do the Nuvo line, which is pure BEVs, not just the hybrids. They've got 5 new plans. They look like they're serious. And the CFO is out here saying that, we are full force going to do this. And then they partner with the robot company as well. So they seem to want to have take that leadership position. So,
and there's a lesson to be learned from this all, Herbert. It's not too late for the classic car companies to make a change. Look, BMW went down the wrong road for quite a while. This whole idea of, the chassis that will be both electric and EV was a terrible idea from an engineering point of view, from a business point, from so many points of view. Toyota still has the same chance. Yeah. They can do this transition, but they have to really commit to it, just as BMW has done. So it's not too late, but it is getting there. And I think that's the lesson to be learned here.
Okay, well, we want to see some of these guys succeed, and this one is good. We'll do another show on Hyundai Kia as well, so watch out for that if you haven't seen one of these 2 shows. Thank you so much, Larry. Appreciate you. Follow Larry on X at Tesla Larry. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.